Now broadcasting from his hidden bunker and fully stocked bar, it is the Saturday Report with Colt Sebastian Taylor.
Thank you and welcome once again, my friends, to the Saturday Report with me, Colt Sebastian Taylor, adventurer, entrepreneur, and amateur customer service consultant. And welcome, my friends, to AWSM Radio, an independent digital-only radio station that plays today's best music, old school classics, along with a rotating cast of all-star DJs. AWSM Radio focuses on mainstream artists, independent artists, along with a variety of interesting talk and music shows throughout the day, and dare I say, the only talk show, news show featuring a redhead with a pith helmet. All we do here is entertain, inspire, and inform. And my friends, I want to engage with you. I want you to be part of the conversation. So, find me on the Twitter, on the Instagram, on the Rizzle, even on Cameo, and at Colt S. Taylor. And of course, follow, bookmark, go to the streets and hand out business cards of my website, ColtSebastianTaylor.com, to keep up to date every week of what I am up to. All right, my friends, let's start with this week's Saturday Report. It is, of course, Memorial Day weekend, the official start of summer. From what I understand, I believe that is the tradition here, at least here in the United States. It's on Monday, Memorial Day, so if you have a flag in your front yard, it is supposed to be at half staff from sunrise to only noon. The only holiday where you have the flag at half staff, but only until noon on Memorial Day. Then it goes up to the rest of the flagpole at noon. I'm sure you'll time it to be exactly on the hour. But it's Memorial Day weekend, but something that has continued to linger since late winter, early spring. My feud with Hyundai. Yes! It's back with a vengeance today. Hyundai, my old rival. Well, I have, for lack of better words, been harassing Hyundai on Twitter. I've set my Twitter to notify me every time Hyundai tweets out some sort of promotional stuff, and then I tweet back to them something about something. My transmission, you owe me $4,000. Well, I got a response from them, politely asking me to contact customer service, which I assume is just like one step from being blocked. And that, for me, that'd be almost be a personal victory. They blocked me. So I did call them yesterday. It was a 45-minute conversation that got nowhere. But what was interesting, I had a case manager, lovely lady, and listen, folks, I can't stress this enough. When you call customer service folks have the worst job at every company, okay? They are not even remotely in charge of anything you're upset with, on the off chance maybe you were dating someone from customer service at that place and they broke your heart. That's the only time you will call customer service and complain about customer service. So I am always very polite to customer service people. Okay, you get more bees with honey than you do salt, right? Right. So I called them up and I said, hey, so I have this highly rated, amazing international radio show on AWSM Radio. I've been taking a dump on Hyundai for months, weeks now. I probably have, I would say, humbly impacted some sales of Hyundais. Remember, I cannot recommend this car brand whatsoever. Do not buy a Hyundai, especially used, because 100% of the Hyundais I've bought used had needed a new transmission after only 20,000 miles. And I said, hey, so I thought it was done, but someone in Hyundai said they're going to call me, and no one ever called me. So, typey, what's your name? Say my name, typey. How do you spell your name? Spell your name, typey, where do you live? Spell that. I mean, I'm not super impressed with their, why did you call an automated phone line, enter in all your information into the phone, into this automated stuff, then have to give it again? I don't understand that. So, enter it again. Okay, well, your case manager called you 3 times. What? They called you on this date, and this date. Okay. Did they leave a voicemail message? They did. So, all right, pull up my phone. I don't delete voicemails. Flip. What dates? No. No voicemails. No voicemails at all. Huh. Why did they send you an email? All right. Look at email. Typity. No email. Huh. I have emails from Hyundai asking me how my customer experience was with my case manager, but apparently did not get any of the quote-unquote 3 voicemails, even though I listened to all of my voicemails. I always answer phone calls, but okay, let's just assume maybe I assumed it was the extended warranty phone calls we were all getting. Maybe I didn't. I will acquiesce, like, okay, maybe I didn't get them. Maybe I didn't get 3 phone calls. All right. So apparently they've put this back up the chain. In 7 to 10 business days, I should get a call from a case manager, and I have a little post-it note here with the 3 zip codes that it might come from. So we'll see. My prediction is they're not going to do a damn thing, and they've been sort of leading me on for 2 months. So, but we'll see. Maybe Hyundai will come through. Maybe Hyundai will say, hey, you know what? We usually don't do this, but boy, howdy, Colt makes a good point. This is not the type of Hyundai Tucson we want to put out there. We just came out with a brand new model. It looks fantastic. But we can't have people thinking that Colt's experience with his Hyundai Tucson is the same experience they're going to have. Well, it's probably not, because, as I read, they swapped out the transmission about a year ago because they're having problems with it. Go figure. So, we'll see. So, have I gotten $4,000 or $5,000 worth of content out of this incident yet? No, I have not. So, we'll see. Maybe I can get them to come on the show. That'd be great. Holy moly. Think they will? Probably not. I wouldn't. I'm a loose cannon. You don't want to be on the radio with me. I go off on tangents, and I can get real pissy real fast. So, but anyways, that is the Hyundai update. I may have another one next week, but it may be 2 weeks till I get a final resolution. And the final resolution being they're not going to take my calls anymore, and I'll just keep complaining about them until I slowly tire myself out or bring the company to its knees. Probably the first one. First up this week, some news of children's literature. Eric Carle, the author of The Very Hungry Caterpillar, has passed away at the age of 91. The Very Hungry Caterpillar is a widely acclaimed, just amazingly popular book. First published in 1969, has sold more than 50 million copies since then. By far his most popular book. Did a lot of other books as well, but the Very Hungry Caterpillar is his most popular book. It's only 224 words long, translated into 62 languages, which is pretty amazing. It's a really nice book. Very unique. I mean, if you haven't read it yet, you're crazy. But it's a book about a caterpillar that eats through things, and then each page has a hole in it where the caterpillar has eaten through said food, which is pretty great. It's a great book. I mean, I've read it to my nephews and my nieces. When I was an educator back in the day, I read it a whole lot. It was originally called, and I did not know this, A Week with Willie the Worm. But this publisher thought, a worm eating through food maybe not such a great idea. And so they were kind of kicked around a few ideas. They finally settled on a caterpillar and a butterfly, which would be much more palatable. And they certainly were right. Now, originally he had a hard time getting the book published because each page was shaped differently and had holes in them. The book is a little thick because it can't be flimsy and whatnot. And then he eventually found a printing company in Japan to print the first run of the book. And now it is estimated, according to the article, that a book of Eric Carle's, like he did many books, but one of his books is bought once every 15 seconds. Yes, 15 seconds. An Eric Carle's book, very popular children's author. The Very Hungry Caterpillar was very popular, continues to be popular, has spun off in animated versions. There's lots of merchandise, and there's also a stage production of The Very Hungry Caterpillar that at least 1 million children have seen. So once again, world acclaimed children's author, 62 different languages of The Very Hungry Caterpillar, has passed away this week at the age of 91. A nice long life, bringing lots of joy to kids with his fantastic book. We now go from fictional caterpillars to actual giant tortoises. A giant tortoise has been found on the Galapagos Islands, which obviously they're well known for the giant tortoises being on the Galapagos Islands, but a specific species considered to be extinct more than 100 years ago has recently been found on an island. Okay, now the Galapagos are a series of islands. It's not just one big old island there. But this turtle was found on Fernandina Island, which is considered to be one of the most pristine and youngest islands amongst the Galapagoses. And it is known as and I believe I'm saying this completely wrong, a Chelindodus flaticus species of a giant tortoise. I don't know what any of that means, but it was considered to be extinct more than a century ago. But they came across the turtle. They had some old DNA samples from 1906, and they compared them. Like that's the same species of turtle. So pretty amazing. Some of these turtles can live to be up to over 100 years old, if not older. These are some. I believe one turtle lived to be, I want to say, over 200 years old. Like Darwin, when he visited the island, took a small baby turtle, brought it back to the United Kingdom, and it died like within the last decade. Like it lived that long. The animals age very slowly, and they can be get very, very old if they have, the right amount of, food and treatment and a good habitat. So it's quite an amazing discovery. It's like wow. They can't believe they found this. Now, they were concerned about the giant tortoises as a whole on the island, but various conservation efforts puts the current population from all the species at about 60,000. So that's not a lot, obviously, but they are closely monitored and the islands are all protected, so they feel confident that they'll be able to keep this population of giant tortoises going. But once again, a species of giant tortoise thought to be extinct over 100 years ago, according to authorities in Ecuador, has been found alive on the Galapagos Islands. Pretty amazing stuff. We now go from the Galapagos Islands to the United Kingdom, where Stephen Hawking's archive and office has been acquired for the United Kingdom public, the UK public. Stephen Hawking, who you may know as the former late great theoretical physicist, descendants are donating the entire contents of his office at Cambridge University, including his communications equipment, his wheelchairs, memorabilia, Betsy Beagle on debates, office furniture. They're all going to be donated to be part of the Science Museum Group, part of a collection. He worked at Cambridge on theoretical physics from 2002 to shortly before his death in 2018, and this stuff is going to go on display in the London Museum. He has a large archive of scientific and personal papers. Also in there is the first draft of his best-selling book, A Brief History in Time. And but his correspondences, like his communication with the scientists, that is staying at the Cambridge University Library for further research. This was done to settle his inheritance tax. Obviously, it was worth quite a bit of money. His inheritance tax was close to $6 million, or just over £4 million. But the United Kingdom has a law or government plan that allows those bills to be paid instead of like having to write a check if you transfer important historical, scientific, or cultural objects to the public, and that's available for everyone to inspect. That can count and pay towards your inheritance tax. So obviously his descendants are going to, I mean, what are they going to do with 10,000 scientific papers and all that stuff? I mean, I guess they could try to sell it, but that seems like a bit of a hassle. Why not give it to the public, pay out for tax bill? So really, it's not that bad of a deal for everyone involved, actually. Not that bad at all. But everyone's very happy about this. The descendants are saying that, you know, they're very pleased that this can be seen to the public, takes care of the last bits of his estate, and everyone can take a look at it and be part of it and see his stuff up close. Now, he was, for those who may not remember or didn't see the movie, he was diagnosed with a motor neuron disease when he was 22. They thought he would pass away in a few years, but he lived to be 76, which is pretty amazing. Pretty amazing stuff. He also had guest spots on The Simpsons and Star Trek The Next Generation. Yes, I remember that episode. Data, if you ever watch Data, the android on that show, yes, I'm a bit of a nerd, is playing poker with Stephen Hawking, Albert Einstein, and Isaac Newton. Obviously, they didn't get the real Isaac Newton or Albert Einstein there, but they had Stephen Hawking there playing poker with Data. And as the story goes, they gave him a tour of the set, and they went to the engine room where they had the warp drive so the ship can go faster than light. And then I believe the story goes that he kind of looked at it and he typed out, "I'm currently trying to work on that," as a joke and whatnot. So made a few cameos, whatnot. He was a very popular person. I think he also had a cameo in a Monty Python reunion show where I think he ran someone over with his wheelchair as a joke. Might be someone else, but I think it was him. I'm pretty sure it was him. So he had a pretty good sense of humor. Anyways, once again, the entire Cambridge archive, just about everything, of Stephen Hawking has been donated to the UK public. Will be put on display at the London Museum here, or not here, but over there, probably sometime soon, probably within the next year or two, once they catalog everything and figure out how they want to display it. Speaking of donating things to the public so future generations can enjoy it, when my pal DC shuffles off this mortal coil, I believe that the Smithsonian is going to acquire his entire archive of amazing beats to preserve for the future. But you don't need to wait until that. You don't need to go to the museum to listen to DC. You can listen to him right now, in the present, on AWSM Radio. DC, live in effect. He's our in-house DJ, and he mixes it up every Friday at 9 p.m., every Sunday at 10 p.m. You do not want to miss out while he smashes it on his ones and twos, kicking the beats from his South Florida compound, where he's archiving his amazing work for future generations. So you don't need to wait to the fancy display in Washington, D.C., talking about the great D.C. You can listen to him right now. Well, not right now, but right now in the present on AWSM Radio, Fridays at 9 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m. Bookmark it at AWSM Radio. Moving along with science, 2-year-olds have a nephew a niece, a child, and whatnot, occasionally run into 2-year-olds, they think they're so smart. They think they know everything. They think they have such a high IQ. Well, if you run into Ms. Quest here, first name, I'm going to say Kashe, Kashe, just guessing. She probably is smarter than you. This remarkable 2-year-old has an IQ of 146 and is the youngest member of the American branch of Mensa, which is an organization where a bunch of smart people join and whatnot, like with high IQs. IQ of 146. So you probably yourself, whoa, what does that mean? She could do nuclear physics? No, but for her age, her IQ is very high. So at two, she can count to 100. She knows 50 signs in sign language. She is taking Spanish. She knows when she was 18 months old, she knew all of her numbers, shapes, and alphabets. She can point out all 50 states by shape and location. And, she has a very good memory. There's a very exceptional memory, and therefore she can retain facts even when she's 2 years old. But, of course, she is 2, so she still has temper tantrums and a lot of negotiation. We don't know how the terrible 2s are. But she obviously understands a whole lot more as well. So the parents are going to let her kind of discover her own at her own pace, give her lots of, choices to, she wants to learn stuff and stimulate her mind, but they're going to put her in some sort of lab to make her as smart as possible. But, she knows a lot of stuff for her age, and she has been certified to be part of Mensa, and she's the youngest member of this group. Now, parents yourself, Colt, you're smart. You seem to know a whole lot of stuff. Surely you're part of Mensa. Well, I have always said that I would never be a part of an organization whose standards are so low that someone like me could be part of that membership. So, no, I'm not part of Mensa, and Mensa is better for not having me there. Can you imagine me there, being smart and calling people nerds? Oh my goodness, I'd be kicked out. I can't help myself. It's not like I don't play well with others, but I can't help but just needle people. It's a curse. It's a curse being this handsome and funny and smart, but I manage. But this child, this Ms. Quest here, adorable little girl here. She has big old curly hair, big old smile and whatnot. So cute. She high IQ of 146. So, I mean, I can count to 100, and I can pick out states by size and color, but I'm also not 2. And I sure don't know any Spanish, and I don't know any sign language other than thumbs up. Is thumbs up a sign language? I don't think it is. So I don't know any. If thumbs up is 1, I know 1. If that's not, then I don't know any. But anyway, congratulations, Ms. Quest, for being part of Mensa. You probably have a very interesting life ahead of yourself, and hopefully one day old gray beard Colt Sebastian Taylor will be able to interview you, and I can tell you, hey, I covered you when you were 2 on my radio show. Moving along with other interesting milestones this week. This one came across my desk, and I thought it was very, very neat. Karine Jean-Pierre, which hopefully I'm saying her name correctly, was the first black woman in decades to lead a press briefing at the White House. She's also the first openly gay spokeswoman to do so. First openly gay spokeswoman and second black woman to do so here. The last time it happened was in 1991 by someone named Judy Smith, who was the deputy press secretary to George H.W. Bush. And she had such an interesting career that if you watch the show Scandal with Olivia Pope, which I have not, although I hear good things about it, was the inspiration for that show, was her being a black female deputy press secretary. So very, very interesting. So just another big old milestone. I think is really neat. Jean-Pierre here has held a few informal briefings known as Gaggles, on Air Force One when she's been traveling for the president. This is her first official press briefing where she takes questions, and et cetera, et cetera. And before she had this job, she was a political analyst for MSNBC and was the chief of staff to Harris, Kamala Harris, during the 2020 campaign. So congratulations to her. Watched a few clips. She did a fantastic job. I think, national things of national importance, like press briefings, should reflect the demographic makeup of the United States. It shouldn't always be some old white guy talking to you. It should be a nice mosaic of people that you see every day. Should also be the people you see on TV. So, a tip of my fifth helmet to her. Congratulations. Does this mean I'll get a press pass? Probably not, but if I was going to be in the White House press corps, I missed my chance, because 2016 to 2020, that's a sweet spot for crazy being in the press room. I should have. I just missed my chance there. I should have. I should have just tried and see if I could get a pith helmet on TV. Like, who's this guy? But I didn't. I'm sure they have higher standards now. But technically, I am a newsman. I give the news, so I bet I could, conceivably I could do something with that. Speaking of notable press people, only because they're in one of these categories, Twitter has reopened verification, which has been closed to the public since 2017. They've continued to verify people quietly on a case-by-case basis. They suspended the program in 2017 after the rally in Virginia that led to a death, and one of the rally organizers had a blue check mark, and they kind of had we need a better process to figure out how to verify people. I guess it took them 4 years to figure it out, but here we are. So you can now apply to be verified on Twitter and get that coveted blue check mark. However, it's not just open for everyone. Not every Tom, Dick, and Joe can just roll on in and get a blue check mark. You have to be in certain categories. You can be a company, a brand, or an organization, part of government, a news organization, or a journalist. In the entertainment world, let's see here, sports or gaming, or an activist, organizer, and other individual influencers. Now, they've got some high standards here. High standards here. And as much as I want a blue check mark, and boy howdy, I do in the worst way, I don't think I meet these qualifications yet. Trying to. I think I'm once my profile goes up on AWSM Radio, I'm gonna try to weasel my in as a journalist, a newsman, and whatnot. Probably won't be successful. Before you apply as many times as you want. If you get denied, you just gotta wait 30 days and you can step back up to the plate. So once my profile is officially done on AWSM Radio's website, which they're working on, I'm gonna try to get myself a blue check mark. Wouldn't that be great? I think it'd be great. So you should check it out. If you have the Twitter app, the process is rolling out slowly. It should eventually be in your app, and you can apply from there. You usually have to provide some references, like if you've been in the news, you create a hashtag that went viral. If you or if you're a verified sports person or a gamer, just that you gotta do a lot. And I'm not quite there yet, but I'm getting there. I'm gonna get there. But if you are somewhat famous and you don't have a blue check mark, might be worth checking out. Moving along to entertainment and to somebody who already has a blue check mark, Netflix is doing a documentary about Martha Stewart, and it is certainly a good thing. Martha Stewart will be following around and doing a documentary about her life. As you know, the well-known expert in all things home and lovely. Also, good friends with Snoop Dogg, like legit friends with Snoop Dogg, which is pretty crazy. I love watching their interactions. It's a very weird friendship, but very nice too. She's had a very interesting life, which some of these things I was not aware of. But apparently she babysat for Mickey Mantle and Yogi Berra, famous New York Yankees. Was a fashion model for Chanel. Then was a stockbroker for a while. Then launched her own catering business. And then finally met somebody at a fashionable New York party, who commissioned her first cookbook. Now, she is a multimedia mogul. She's worth over $400 million. She's written 98 books, and she's been to jail. She went to jail for several months for a stock thing. So, like, she's lived a very interesting life. So I'm going to check it out. She seems like a legit nice person. I every once in a while I'll watch one of her shows, and she's just living life to the fullest. I mean, she has an amazing life and has worked hard for all of her stuff. Unless it's some big scam. Maybe this documentary will reveal it. I doubt it. But if you have Netflix, a Martha Stewart documentary is coming. To learn more about her, obviously they're probably paying her a decent amount of money to do it. It's being directed by Oscar-nominated director R.J. Cutler, who also made the recently Billie Eilish, The World's a Little Less Blurry on Apple TV, which you probably saw advertisements on that. So the guy who did that is doing this for Netflix. So I think I'm going to check it out. See if it's pretty good. Speaking of Martha Stewart and things that are good, it's a good thing. I'll tell you what's a good thing. The Rock Sessions. It's our drive time show here on AWSM Radio. The Rock Sessions, hosted by the lovely, beautiful, fantastic Rocks. She's going to make sure your evening commute home is fun. She has the hottest music on the charts and some other surprises in between. Always an enjoyable show. She makes it rock style. Probably say yourself, Colt, I have gotten a blow to the head. I listen to every week, but I have short-term memory problems. I don't remember when can I catch the Rock Sessions. Don't worry, my friend. Although they should probably seek medical attention, because that's not that you shouldn't be forgetting this. So go check it. Write it down right now. See the doctor after I listen to the Rock Sessions Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Only here on AWSM Radio. Moving along to the world of sports. Quite a milestone, famous, going to the Golf Hall of Fame, Phil Mickelson, who I often mispronounce as Nicholson. Phil Mickelson, at age 50, in fact, age 50, 11 months and 7 days, has become the oldest major champion in golf history. He had 300-1 odds before he started, only since Todd Hamilton in 2004 with 500-1 odds has someone with a more lower chance of winning actually won. So he is the oldest person to win a PGA championship match, his sixth in his career and whatnot. And he really brought his game just as about to get to his 51st birthday. And wow, I mean, that is pretty impressive. Now, Phil Mickelson he has this commercial, and I haven't seen it for a while. I don't remember what he's talking about. It's some sort of medical thing, like medical pain, but he's got dead eyes. I mean, maybe it's just the way this commercial is. Maybe the way the commercial is shot, but yeah, he's got weird eyes in this commercial, which is pretty crazy. But anyways, it just creeps me out. But the fact that he's able to do this on almost his 51st birthday is pretty amazing. It is pretty amazing. So congratulations to Philip Mickelson for his 6th win, oldest golfer ever to win a major PGA tournament match. And I'm sure when I'm in 51 that I'll be plenty happy that I can walk without it hurting from me getting from my bunker to my bar. That's all I'm aiming for. So reminds me I should probably go to the gym today, because I'm getting old and these joints ain't getting younger. But Phil Mickelson, he managed. I guess if you're really, really rich and all day you do is just golf, you probably can stay in shape. So I guess my first thing I need to do is win the lottery and then take it from there. Moving along in entertainment news, Elliot Paige shared a very happy photo of himself wearing swim trunks for the first time after life-changing surgery. Elliot Paige, the star of Juno, X-Men's Days, Future Past, and many other really great movies, announced that he was transgender in December, and that he and they were the actor's preferred pronouns. So he went through transition surgery and showed off his body for the first time, and boy howdy, well, that's a handsome fella right there. Holy, I mean, I don't know how Elliot Paige got a 6-pack. I mean, that's wow. That's a 6. Elliot Paige is jacked, and I've at first this photo was going around, and I didn't say who it was. I didn't recognize who this person was. Like, why is everyone freaking out about this person in swim trunks? And I read, oh, it's Elliot Paige. Oh, goddamn, that's Elliot Paige. That's a handsome guy. But recently, shared it. Had an interview with Oprah Winfrey, and the posting the photo has brought him, quote, the most joy. And to quote Elliot Paige, he said, it's, getting out of the shower and the towel is around your waist and you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're just like, there I am. And I'm not having the moment where I'm panicked. It's being able to touch my chest and feel comfortable in my body, probably for the first time. So that is pretty amazing. And then in March, Elliot Paige became the first ever transgender man to grace the cover of Time magazine. So congrats to Elliot Paige. I definitely need to go to the gym, because I need that Elliot Paige abs. Holy moly, like bounce quarters off of them. So that is a 6-pack. But anyways, congrats to Elliot Paige. Great that he feels comfortable and happier right now. And for those out there who think otherwise, you're an idiot. You are all idiots. I have no time to discuss with you your stupid transphobic comments that makes you feel uncomfortable. Sorry, it's not the 1950s anymore. You had a good run, but if you feel uncomfortable with me talking about this, like, oh boy, just keep your comments to yourself. Keep listening. Obviously, I want the views, but I have no time for you. Just go watch your John Wayne movies, feel good about yourself, and just keep your ignorant comments to yourself. So, congratulations to Elliot Paige. Well, my friends, that just about wraps up this week's Saturday Report with me, Colt Sebastian Taylor. Thank you so much for joining me here today. And remember, you can find me on the Twitter, on the Rizzle, on the Instagram at Colt S. Taylor. So please feel free to engage with me on there. Or if you want to hit me up for a video for friends and family, I'm also on Cameo. It's pretty great. And then if you haven't already, you should do this every week. Bookmark, follow, tattoo on the back of someone you don't like, ColtSebastianTaylor.com, to remind you to visit that frequently. I'm usually updating it once or twice a month, so as frequently as once or twice a month is. And also, I am uploading all past shows to that website, so that's a great reason to visit. And I'm also sticking the shows on YouTube. Not filming myself, but just the audio. Perfect place to check out past shows. Until next time, my friends, I am, of course, your friend, Colt Sebastian Taylor, and I'll see you later.